Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to show number 207 of the Jimmy Palumbo Show. Well, good evening, everybody. It's a perfect day here for the Jimmy Palumbo Show. And of course, this is show number 207, the Charles Lindbergh Show here, as due to a late second-minute scratch, Dave Sturcho had some things that came up. He could not do the show today, and my rest of the week is busy. So I said, you know what, Jay Bird? Let's do the show solo. Dave will be back next week. Don't worry about it. So that's it. So I'm doing the show by myself. So this show's either going to be 9 hours or the show will be 35 minutes. I have no idea what I'm doing here. Of course, this is the St. Patty's Day show for me because, of course, the next Monday is St. Patty's Day. A little bit of a sad one for my family. My father-in-law was born on St. Patty's Day. And this will be the first time he's not around, so that's a little sad for my daughter. But I will be doing I'll be doing some kind of I think my buddy's making like fresh corned beef or something, so I'll go over there and kill some time and maybe. But the funny thing is about St. Patty's Day to me, my grandfather told me years ago, the trick now people go to these big bars, it's packed, young kids around and throwing up all over the place. To me, he always said the trick is you duck out of work and you go have one drink and you raise a glass. You don't get drunk. You just have you have a drink. And then later on after work, you want to have a couple beers, but that's the fun of it. So I did that for years when I lived in LA. I used to take my roommate out. We'd duck into some Irish place. That was like dead, not a popular place. Dive bar. And I'd go and have a little cheer, a little Guinness, or maybe a little Jameson. So that's what I used to do there. But it'll be St. Patty's Day on Monday. So this is the St. Patty's Day, number 207. Now, of course, 207, the number 7, all you Yankee fans, 207, you know what? At the end of the day, you know what 207 means? It's Mickey Mantle. That's how it goes. But I did not know that Tommy Henrich wore number 7 for like 6 years before Mantle arrived. I don't think my family knew that either. And, of course, you got your normal stuff, your Elway and Big Ben and Phil Esposito on the Rangers. Nobody's talking about Phil Esposito. And, of course, Carmelo Anthony, who I was never a big fan of, but I guess he's a Hall of Famer. He scored a lot. I think he stunk. But then I looked up the Giants, and I'm like, wow, no one's wore number 7 with the Giants since 1945. I'm like, how would that be? Some bad punter or some quarterback. And then I realized there was a guy named Mel Hein, which Tyson Hogan on the comments picked up on that. This guy, Mel Hein, I was like, wait a minute. First of all, he's in the College Hall of Fame. He's in the NFL Hall of Fame. And he won 8 years in a row. He made All-Pro. He was a center. And he's the only offensive lineman to win MVP of the league. Think about that for a second. Like, from now on, any center coming out, any good offensive lineman, I'm just going to go, Mel Hein. Come on now. This guy was, after he played, he was in charge of the officials in the AFL, the old AFL, AFC, whatever they called it back then, AFL. And this guy was just a legendary. He died at like 85 years old. So I should have known who Mel Hein was. Another thing my brother's going to kill me for. But he wore number 7, and no one's worn number 7 for the Giants since then. And the Giants, this guy won 2 rings, 7 championship games. People don't realize that before the era of Super Bowl, which everybody counts as like 67, that's when the NFL started. But the Giants were a dominant player for years in the league. They got beat a lot in the championship games, some really tight classic games that still go down as some of the greatest games of all time. But, I mean, the Giants were in a lot of championship games. It wasn't called the Super Bowl. And when they did that 50-year, 75-year documentary, I think they screwed over the Giants by all they did was talk about the Super Bowl era. But you got to give, history is history. You can't talk about the United States without talking about, John Adams and Washington and Jefferson. So you got to talk about the Giants. They were a big-time program in the NFL years ago. So that's it. Number 207, the Mel Hein Mickey Mantle show here. Now, of course, here at Shea, the baseball card, this guy is probably got the coolest name of any player. This guy played from, I don't know, 82 to 90 or something like that. He was a relief pitcher, but he's got the coolest name ever. Cecilio Guante. Okay. And I keep on thinking of Bob Shepard, now pitching for the Rangers, Cecilio Guante. I just love that. It's a great name. Now, he was a guy from the Dominican. He was 29 and 34. His ERA was 3.48. He had 35 saves. He was a middle reliever guy, seventh inning guy, really. Only pitched 363 games. He was with Pittsburgh, the Yankees, then Texas, then Cleveland. With the Yankees in 87, he had an ERA of 5.73. Wasn't that good. But then in 88, he pitched really well. His ERA was 2.82. But they, of course, Tyson Hogan with the guacamole dip. The Cecilio pitched in, like, before the All-Star break, he already pitched 60 innings. And they just blew out his arm. And then he gave up back-to-back home runs in a game, knocked the Yankees out of first place, and Billy Martin got fired for the fifth time. Some people blame Cecilio. He used to have a black marker, a big G on his glove. I remember that. He made decent money, $500,000. Overall, at the end of the day, he was he didn't like playing in New York, but he was a decent pitcher. That's all, just decent. Journeyman, 3 or 4 teams. So that is Cecilio Guante. Yep. So what else we got here? Now, I want to talk about my Patreon. Don't forget, go to www. I have to explain that to people. .patreon, patreon.com here from the Omni. And go on there. And I'm doing a new thing with my merch. Merch is selling pretty good, but I'm doing a thing. If you're on the first tier, you get 10% off. Second tier, 20%. And the third tier, you get 25% off all merch. I will be sending, hopefully by tomorrow, all of the codes to each individual person on my, on the Patreon members. So you'll get that code. You can order some merch. So that is that. That's exciting news there at the merchandise. Also, I got to give a shout out to my boy, Michael Deej, who plays Alphonse. I saw him last night. We had dinner together in Bayonne, of all places, at a really nice pub, old school pub in Bayonne, Hendrick's Corner. Very cool. And also shout out to Steve Venditti getting involved, who works for the Giants. Of course, everybody knows Venditti, who knows this show. He's also helped me out getting tickets for my daughter to see Zach Bryan at MetLife Stadium in July. And also to Jaybird Michaud, Johnine Michaud, for hosting a cool St. Paddy's Day party, which I'll get to in just a moment. We're officially mired in a slump here. We're stuck at 47, which is Venditti's favorite number. So that's it. So go sign up for Patreon. I love all the people that have signed up. Thank you very much. And that's that. Which also, if you're feeling healthy, which I don't think anybody in my audience feels healthy, but if you do, go to chasingmiracles.com. That's right. The stem cell patches, my mom's been wearing them. I wear them. I have them on right now, especially in my knee. My knee hurt me a little bit, so I popped one on the knee. They're awesome. They're non-invasive. You put them right on, they look like those little circular Band-Aids. You pop them right on. Done deal. They give you everything you need. They give you better energy. They heal you on the inside with your stem cells. It's all kinds of shit your body needs that you don't really know you need. It's that kind of thing. You just call up. Go to chasingmiracles.com. Talk to Tommy and Donna. They also got a couple of new products out. I'm trying this new one. It's a little vitamin pack. You put it in a glass of water. I started that. I'll keep you posted on how that goes. But chasingmiracles.com, you can pee in the cup, and it's non-invasive. You don't have to worry about anything like that. Not that anybody in my audience has to pee in a cup for, to be able to play in the league. But maybe you're a cop or something. You got to pee in a cup. I don't know. But you don't have to worry about with this stuff. It's shit your body needs day here at chasingmiracles.com. Couple of things. Big news, of course. By the way, the shirt I'm wearing is from like Temu. Cost me $7. It's made out of nothing. It's made out of saran wrap. But I thought it was a cool shirt. It's got the colors. God bless. Tonight on Disney Plus, check it in at the 4:18 mark. Jimmy Palumbo will be on Daredevil Born Again. I'm told I'm on episode 4. I don't really know. They don't officially tell me. They're very secretive. I think you might catch me a little base hit in episode 3, but episode 4, if things go my way, you'll see me tonight. I love the show. I was late to the Daredevil game. I watched it on Netflix. I loved it. The reason why I hate all those kind of shows, all the Marvel stuff, I'm just not into it. But this one is weird because he doesn't really have. It's more of a drama, and the Daredevil guy doesn't have like the powers that the Iron Man and whatever Superman do. I think it's pretty cool the way they play out the show. And what it just works for me. And D'Onofrio's in it, and some other people that are. It's just a good show. And then they come out with this season. This would be technically season 4, but it's really season 1 of Daredevil Born Again. And I thought I was cut because they wiped out the first season of this new one. But then turns out they didn't wipe out the whole thing. They just changed a little direction. And so I'm just going by what I read in a Hollywood Reporter and stuff. And I was told through an insider that I made the squad. I don't know. I think it premieres tonight at 8 or 9 o'clock. I'll be watching it. I'll be talking about it next week. But check it out on Disney Plus. Jimmy Palumbo getting involved here. Maybe I'll put a clip up next week. I'll send it to Dave, and he'll put it up so we can watch my 5-second scenes. I don't know. I have a pretty good moment in it, but I don't know if they cut it out. As an actor, you don't know. You could do 6 pages and they cut it down to a half a page. I've been blessed over the years. Only 1 or 2 things I've done where I got completely eliminated, or really small. But you know what I mean? It's that whole world and the universe, as they call it. So check it out tonight. Daredevil Born Again, Disney Plus. I think I'm in episode 4. Also, in other news, in showbiz, business of show, I had a show in Avenel on April 18th, right? So tickets were selling, but I know it wasn't moving the way I wanted to. Then I realized it's on Good Friday, okay? It's during Easter week, and a lot of people go away for that week. The kids are out of school, whatever, they go away. And also it's Passover. So no Catholics, no Jews. And there I am, trying to run a show. And I'm like, you know what? I should do it on a different night. And I didn't think I could because of scheduling. But I called them up over there, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. And I was able to switch to May 30th. So scratch April 18th. I will be on May 30th at the APAC in downtown Avenel, New Jersey. It's a great place to see a show. The restaurant there, as part of the theater, was closed. And to be open by April 18th was really iffy, but there's a decent shot, I'm told, that by May 30th, my show, the bar and restaurant will be open. I'm going to try to get him to open up the bar somehow so my people can drink. It's with Ryan Marr and Liz Glazer. Ryan has been doing a lot of shows with me. I think he's a tremendous comedian. And Liz Glazer is great as well. I think I'm the worst comic on the bill. But, I'll check in. I'll hit a couple threes. But it should be a good show. I'll be doing some new material, but, there'll be some oldies. You know what I mean? I got to do the greatest hits, if you want to call them greatest hits. So that's it. Yeah, May 30th. Come check out. We're going to be advertising it more. I'm going to be doing some videos and blah, blah, blah. Also, in other news, my daughter, Natalie Joan Palumbo here from the Omni, she got her permit, and we have been driving, and I got to give her credit. Of course, I'll be dead in 3 weeks from anxiety over this, but she's doing really well. She did something on Sunday. I tell you, she drove from Mahwah all the way to the Rutgers Athletic Center to go to the Rutgers game, all on 287, which is a fast-moving road there, and she's only a rookie, and she did well. She had a couple of moments where I think you know what? I'm going to toot my own horn now. Heck with my daughter. I thought I did a great job as their head coach. I was like a young Belichick. I just kept calm, kept my voice down. Hey, okay, just watch out for this guy. Slow down a little bit here. Maybe speed up a little bit. I think, I don't know if this is true. First of all, this is my first rodeo in terms of teaching someone how to drive. She was hugging the right side of the road. So when you're in passenger seat and someone's hugging the right side, you're like, hey, you know, especially on these smaller roads where they have like mailboxes and trees on the edge of the road. I'm like, hey, Nat, you know, I don't want to take your father's face off here. But she did really well. And only a couple times where I had to call a timeout. And then she drove all over the place. She ended up driving to Absolute Eyewear, which I'll get to in a second. And then we went to my mother's house. She got to see her grandmother, which she hasn't seen since my mother's on the DL with the hip stuff. And then she drove all the way home in the dark here on 287. Probably foolish of me to do that. But you know what? My dad used to say, hey, you get your license, you got to drive. You can't, just because you got a piece of paper, it doesn't mean you know how to drive. Your kids got to drive. Let them. Every time I pick up Natalie, I get out of the seat. I sit on the passenger side. I go, let's go. I have to get her where I'm comfortable with her driving. And to tell you the truth, it is scary. And I tried to tell her, look, something happens and you're okay. And the person you hit is okay. It's just insurance. We got insurance for it. You know, I try to let her know because kids get, you know, a little nervous behind the wheel. But I got the sticker on the back of my car that says student driver and stuff. It's a big magnet thing. And they also give you a little red thing, which I got to put that on my license plate as well. Shout out to Irina Shea for giving me her kid's magnet, little fender thing on there so people know, hey, the only thing is when my daughter's not driving, it's me. So people think I'm a rookie, but then they go by and I look like Burgess Meredith driving the car. But so that, yeah, my daughter did a really nice job. I was happy about that. Saturday, I did something I haven't done in a very long time, and I'm glad I did. I decided Bananas over here off Route 17, right by the Meadowlands. It's in a hotel. It's in a Renaissance hotel. They get some pretty good acts that come through there. And I decided, I want to go to a show. I want to see, because I do these shows now that are produced kind of by me. Once in a while, I get hired by somebody else. I mean, not once in a while, but I do get hired. But a lot of my shows are, you know, charities for high school lacrosse team, softball team, and I do a gig. I bring the comedians in. Everybody gets paid well, and we move on. We do a nice show. But I want to see what's going on. Bananas is part of the tour for a lot of comedians. And the comedian was Mike Vecchione. And I looked at his name. I was like, how do I know this guy? But there's a bunch of Italian guys that have similar names. I'm like, how do I know this guy? So I went down there, and it wasn't bad. It was like, I don't know, $35 for a ticket, something like that. And I had performed at Bananas with Joe Matarese about a year ago or 2 years ago. And so I went in there, and I don't know the warm-up guy's name. The middle guy name was Mike Mancuso. And then, of course, it was Mike Vick, but I was able to see him when I was getting tickets. He was in a side room, and he looks at me and he smiles. And then I went over and knocked on. I was just going to just say, hey, man, how you doing? I was acting like I was a celebrity. I really wasn't, but I was like, hey, And he comes out. He goes, Jimmy, what's going on? I'm like, hey, Mike, what's happening? He goes, wow, I haven't seen you since King of Staten Island. And then it hit me. I was in that movie King of Staten Island with Dominic Lombardozzi and the kid from SNL with the tattoos. I'm dropping his name right now. And so I totally remember him. And I was like, oh my God, that's one of the firemen. And we chatted for a little bit. We talked about comedy. We talked shop for a little bit. But of course, he was very complimentary to me. And I'm like, dude, I looked on your website. You're touring all over the place. You go to Austin, Chicago, LA, New York. I mean, it's awesome. But I really wanted to see, and if this sounds cheesy to my friends, family, and fans, I wanted to see, this was just a regular generic comedy show at a comedy club that books traveling acts, that come through. Bananas has been around for 100 years. And I was like, all I wanted to see was, would I fit in, you know? And I'm hard on my stand-ups because some nights I'm really good when I do stand-up. I think I'm well, I only go by the audience laughs. It's the only thing I go by. And some nights, I score 26 points. And other nights, a lot of timeouts. The Knicks, when they want to talk it over. I land the plane, but, people are hitting their heads on the thing, the oxygen mask are coming down, that kind of thing. But I land the plane. Everybody survives, but they never fly the airline again. And other nights I play really well. And I felt, to be dead honest with you, sound like a jerk. I definitely would have fit in. And I know I could either headline or middle for any of these acts that are a little hot right now. I'm not saying I could do the Beacon Theater or Madison Square Garden like a Sebastian can. I'm not at that level, no sir. But I know I can go in there and do a nice job for sure. And I felt good about that, which I really feel good about my stand-up. So I'm looking forward to doing a few more gigs before the show in the big show at Avenel in May, and then we'll go from there. It was just weird being able to say, you know what, I would be able to hang. I think I would have got just as much laughs. Maybe not as polished as Vecchione. He's good. He's a different style than I do. But the middle guy, they were all decent, good. I had no complaints. I laughed. But I'm like, put me in the lineup. I definitely would have slapped a base hit over the second baseman's head. So it was good for me. Then on Sunday, when Natalie was driving me all over, I started thinking like, wow, I can start drinking now when I go to events. My daughter's going to drive. But then I'm like, there's got to be something illegal if she gets pulled over and her dad's in the passenger seat, half in the bag. What would I say to the cop if she says, all right, let your dad drive home? I'm like, dude, I can't drive. So I was like, I just had one beer at the rack. I didn't even finish it. But we went to go see Rutgers play Minnesota. My brother's seats, I'm in the third row, man. It's just the seats you can reach out and touch the basketball. And I really, one of my proudest things about me and my daughter is somehow, and you should call Dyfus or call Trenton on me, my daughter is a Rutgers fan, which is, I mean, she's probably going to apply to Rutgers. I don't know if she'll go there. Wherever she goes is fine by me, but she really is a Rutgers fan. She follows the guys on Instagram and Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey and some of the other guys and the Manung guy on the football team. And she was really excited. And it's just the rack is a great atmosphere. The band's playing, jumping up and down. The only problem is with Rutgers is when they roll the balls out. That's when they hate me on the Facebook pages. Some people probably like me. I just don't understand. We got these two players, Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey, who I don't follow the NBA draft because I've noticed that after the top 10 players, everybody, where are we going here? You know what I mean? And it's hard to make an NBA team. There's only 12 guys on the roster, so there's only 350 guys playing. And every college in America has a basketball team. So it's hard to play in the NBA. It just is. But these two guys, Harper and Bailey, are projected to go 2 and 3 behind Cooper Flagg. And I don't know. I don't see it. I don't know. They look young. Bailey looks like he should stay another year, but if he's going to sign a $20 million contract or $15 million guaranteed NBA money, he's got to go. But I just don't see. I don't know. I can't explain it. He's going to be the number 2 or 3 pick in the NBA draft, and against Minnesota, he scored 6 points. 2 of them came in overtime. He had 6, 7 rebounds, but like. That to me is like, shouldn't you dominate if you're going to be like an NBA top 3 draft pick? I don't know. I just the whole thing. I don't get it. And Harper's a good player. To me, he always looks out of breath. He always looks tired. He at the end of the game, 7 seconds to go, he brought the ball up. He threw a pass that got intercepted, and the guy heaved a 3 that just missed. Would have been for the win. But he dominated the overtime. Harper's best stuff, he drives to the hole. Probably, he set the all-time Rutgers freshman player scoring. But like our record's 15-16. If you like two guys in the top 5, and you're not going to qualify maybe for the NIT, I need help with that. Maybe I'm not used to. Maybe if I was a Kentucky fan, someone can walk me through this. But I know me. I think everybody stinks, but they don't stink. That's not what I'm saying. But I don't know. To me, I'm glad the Knicks aren't picking in the top 5. I'll leave it at that. But I wish them well. But I don't care. Like, I'm not going to be like, if these guys go on to be great, good NBA players, I'm not going to be like, oh, Rutgers finest. 1 year? Nah, not doing it. 1 year we didn't make the tournament for the 3rd year in a row, and I'm supposed to go nuts that you're playing for the Mavericks. I don't get that. It's just not. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll just being an old man on that. But I think I really think the reason why Rutgers didn't do as well as we thought they were going to do is because we didn't get this high level play day in, day out from these two guys. Now, don't get me wrong. There were moments where it was like, wow, a couple of dunks, a couple of key games they had, one game they both scored 35. Yeah, there was a couple of moments, but I could say that about Geo Baker. I could say it about Ron Harper Jr. I could say about a few of them. John Battle, when I was there, lit it up the last 2 months of the season. But listen, I don't know the NBA draft. Everybody says, oh, high ceiling. By the way, when you hear, there's certain words, when you hear high ceiling, you know what that means? That means the player stinks. I don't want to hear about he's got a high ceiling. I want to hear, oh, he's going to play and my team's going to win now. I don't want to hear about ceilings. What are we doing? Spackling? You know, do sheetrock if you already got a high ceiling. I don't get any of that. Like, I want to win that. I mean, play now. What is this? Oh, he's in development, G League. You know, in Latin, G League means you stink. And I've seen so many better players in college over the last few years than I think these two guys. But they're guaranteed to go to the NBA in the top 3 picks. It's insane to me. But I wish them well. They're young kids. They're 18. God bless. Thanks for coming to Rutgers. They play USC tomorrow night in the play-in Big Ten tournament game. As embarrassing as it is. Some people think we can run the table in the Big Ten. I don't think so. But you know what? I'm a fan. I'm a lifer. I love it. Go Rutgers. Go RU getting involved here. Also, Absolute Eyewear getting involved. Did I forget? Yeah. Absolute Eyewear had a cool party yesterday at their Woodbridge Township down there, Central Jersey, where I'm from. They have a really cool St. Patty's Day party right around the same time of year before St. Patty's. And Johnine and Craig open up their doors because they're right on the corner by the train tracks, as you heard me do the ads for years. And it's a private party, kind of. And they open it up to all people from Colonia and Woodbridge, family and friends. A lot of the Corona softball team guys were there. Billy Rebecci and Bernie McCauley, some of my brother's friends. My brother would have gone if he was in town. My sister, my cousin Joey, his wife, and everybody. Of course, Madison. It's kind of a goodbye to Madison. As Madison, the minute with Madison here, I think she left this morning for Waco, Texas. As you've heard on the show, my beautiful niece is going to be a reporter for an NBC affiliate in Waco, Texas, which is a huge break for her. I gave her a hug and say, go get him, Tiger. I mean, this is NBC affiliate. That could mean the world to her. But, it's a different league now. It's going to be really exciting to see her grow and kick ass. I can't wait. And I'm going to make her come on the show after she's a big star, just to aggravate her soul. I want her to become a big star and then hire me. Minute with Jimmy Palumbo. I'll come in and hit a quick 3. No doubt about it. Fall into the bench. So that was cool. We got to say goodbye to her. My daughter was there for the first time. She saw the whole thing. We missed the parade because we were at the Rutgers game, but we caught the party at the end. And, of course, Johnine and Craig, my glasses were getting screwed up. And I said, hey, Craig, can you do this for me? And he said, what, are you kidding me? I'm not doing that now. And, of course, Janine said, give me the glasses. She took care of it. And she made them nice and tight, and the whole thing, the handles are falling off, whatever, or the arms, whatever you call those things. And she took care of me there. It was good to see my brother-in-law, Steve, and my sister. Good old clean Woodbridge Township fun here at Shea. And people were asking me about the Avenel show, and I was telling them about that. So it was very, very cool. Into other sports, I'm going to pull a Dave now. I'll take a sip of my coffee. In other Jimmy Palumbo action, the Yankees. Today they announced that every single player on the Yankees got hurt today in the spring training game. Every player on the Yankees is out for 3 months. So my brother and I and Billy Rebecci and Dave Sturcho I'm going to pitch game one. When spring training's over, I'll go 5 1/3. The Yankees are injured. First of all, my boy Giancarlo, what are we doing? First they say his calf is hurt. That's right. From Tyson Hogan, they need chasing miracles. That's so funny. No, Stanton, I don't get this. His elbow's hurt last year, which I don't remember hearing about that. He hurt his leg or something. He was out for 5 weeks. He came back. He was the best player in baseball in the playoffs. And all of a sudden, it's announced that his elbows were sore. I'm like, let him play. Everyone should have sore elbows if you hit like that in the playoffs. And now it's like he's going back and forth, getting shots in his elbows, and it's like severe elbow injury. Like, what did you do in the offseason? Like, I don't know, would you play pickleball and it hurt you? And how can both? I don't understand. Again, God, I'm definitely the get off my lawn guy. I'm so sorry. How could you hurt both elbows? Am I anybody with me on this? Like, tennis elbow doesn't, your both elbows don't hurt. Like, you swing the bat, one arm has different things. He doesn't play the field. He didn't throw he's a better fielder than Soto. We know that. But he doesn't throw rockets in. He's not pitching. How could you hurt both elbows? You did something in the weight room, which I think the Yankees training staff, I think the Giants training staff and the Yankees, I would fire all of them. There's too many injuries here. The Yankees are getting hurt all the time. I can't stand it. Now, and they say he hurt his calf, too. What was he doing, rubbing his elbows on his calf? I don't get it. Just swing the bat. It's awful. And he always gets hurt, even though when he plays, he's the best player on the team. Just brutal. I mean, DJ LeMahieu, heel or Gill, as I call him. Heel is out. All these players are out. I swear, when you're playing the Yankees, I would walk Judge 500 times this season. Why would you pitch to him? Who's going to hit before? There's nobody there. Don't pitch to Judge. Judge is going to walk 7,000 times this year. He's going to be like Bonds. Why would you pitch to him? And if he starts swinging at bad pitches, I'm going to be pissed. But it just, I don't know, injuries. And then, of course, I'll swing it over to the Knicks. Brunson got hurt. We don't know how long he's out for. By the way, I said this last week. I hate the HIPAA laws. Here's how the law should have been written. If I said this last week, I don't care. I'm repeating myself. The HIPAA law should be like, all your medical information is private, right? What a wonderful, you don't want anybody to know you're sick. That's great. Except if you play for the Giants, Knicks, Rangers, Rutgers, then I want to be in on, there should be a website where I look at the x-rays and me and my brother look at him and say, I think he's going to be all right. HIPAA laws for athletes, it's the worst for a fan. Lower extremity injury. What did Giancarlo do to his elbows? I want to see the x-ray. I want to see like a ligament flapping in the wind. It just makes me absolutely insane. LeMahieu went from the best hitter in baseball. He can't get the ball in the infield. He's got bad toes. Go to Tony Sergi and Metuchen. He'll fix you up. Go to a podiatrist. I don't understand this. Makes me think of guys like Lou Gehrig who play with broken toes, broken feet, broken fingers. But that was a nice win last night. They beat the Sacramento Kings or something. We got to see OG and the guy from the lousy guy from the Nets, and of course Karl Anthony Towns. I got to give him credit. It's a nice win on the road. Kings aren't that bad, so God bless America. And of course, I'm willing to bet the reason why Giancarlo Stanton got hurt because he's got filthy carpets. That's what it is. He's not married. He's got filthy carpets. He's letting everybody in his house with dirty feet. And he should call up Oxy Magic USA.com. That's right. OXY MagicUSA.com. This place is great. They did my carpets, Dave's carpets. Another friend of mine got it done. Drying time, 2 hours. EPA safe choices. The guy moves the furniture around. I'm telling you, this is an awesome, awesome service. You really, really like it. So go to oxymagicusa.com. And of course, if you're like Dave and I, always one foot out the door, if you know what I mean, and you want to get some 0% financing on some new franchises, you can get a franchise with him. Go and talk to Tom DeMeo. He's the guy. But go to oxymagicusa.com. I guarantee you guys will like this. So the bottom line is go to Absolute Eyewear if you can't see. Go to Oxymagic USA if you got filthy carpets. Go to cornholelevel.com if you suck at cornhole. And go to One Bite Creative if your website sucks. So basically, I'm the guy should advertise where people have something that sucks, and then I tell you where to go. That's going to be the whole premise of my podcast. If your carpets are filthy, go to my guy. If you can't see, go to Absolute Eyewear. Okay. If you're lousy in cornhole, you go there, and many, many others. If you're feeling lousy, you go to the Chasing Miracle. But give it a shot. OxyMagicUSA.com. So, okay. Now, another thing, I don't know, because first I'm doing the show solo, so I guess you're just going to listen to me now. I have a new manager, which many of you don't know. I was always hesitant to say this on the air, but I had a manager for 31 years. They're big, and they totally, my opinion, but I guarantee you I would win this case in a court of law, just totally ghosted me and showed me no respect. I'm not a star. I'm a character actor. Been in the league a while. I got 135 credits. I've been on, some of the big shows of television. I had really close runs with fame. If shows and movies were hits, I would have been right there. It didn't work out. And now I'm doing a podcast. But I'm still in the game, still auditioning. And they totally ghosted me, which to me, it still bothers me. Like, all you got to do is say, hey, Jimmy, we're big now. You're a small fry. I would have been okay with it. You don't book enough work. I would have been okay with it. Stats don't lie. If you're batting 195, unless, of course, you're Gallo, you don't play in the league anymore. I get it. And just totally. Anyway, so I'm not going to say the name. You can research if you want. So I ended up, friend of mine, she was a friend of mine, friend of a friend. She's a manager over here in Wyckoff, sweetheart. And a couple of years back, I was going to actually work for her as maybe being an assistant manager. I thought about dabbling in that, but it didn't work out. But nothing to do with her and me. Just we couldn't make it work. So I was chatting with her, and she ended up taking me on. And I'm blown away by she's so aggressive in terms of like submitting me and working with my agent in New York, because the manager kind of has a smaller group. And they manage you. They make sure, like, what's going on? Should we get new headshots? Should we do this? She was hitting me with a bunch of stuff. And I loved it because I'm like, I defended myself a few times where I thought maybe I'll fill her in on that. But it was great. I'm like, you know what? I'm getting managed for the first time. She's not the biggest manager in the world, but hey, she's got clients that book work. And hopefully, I'll do the same. And she works with my agents great. And I got a really nice agency at Henderson Hogan. They do great work, Alex and David over there. So it was really nice to actually be, have a conversation with someone who knows what they're doing. And I realized I was with that big management company, and I never got that. Nothing. I was flying the plane by myself, just like I'm doing now, my podcast. But, it was just wonderful. So shout out to Denise Hardigan. Over there in Wyckoff, good people. The TV show I watched, we got to discuss this. This is the one time I wish Dave was on the show. He'd be crying. He's not watching the show. The show Landman, one of Sheridan shows. This show, man, I'm telling you right now, Billy Bob Thornton is great. It's about the oil market in Texas. You learn about things I love when you learn something from a show. Like, I don't know anything about that. You think you know, but you don't know. But I got to tell you something. I'm going to get in an argument with some people. I believe in the history of television, there are 3 women on this show. I mean, to me, it's LeBron, Durant, and Jordan, the dream team here. First of all, Michelle Randolph, who's also on 1923. She plays Billy Bob Thornton's daughter, and she is just lights out. Oh my God, she's gorgeous beyond belief. She's beautiful, and she's a good actress too. And then you got Billy Bob Thornton's lawyer is an actress called Kayla Wallace. She's hot in a whole different way. So she chips in 17 points with 11 rebounds. And then the veteran in the slot, Ali Larder. I don't know if you remember this actress. She's been on tons of shows. She's probably 50, 52 maybe. I don't even know. Veteran presence. She's gorgeous. And she's walking around in bikinis. Everybody's walking around in bikinis. It's unbelievable. But yet it's not done. It's done in I can't explain it. It's totally between Billy Bob Thornton's good acting and some other, the guy from Mad Men, John Hamm, and these actors. The first season was unbelievable. Totally recommended. I'm not going to blow the ending or anything like that, but oh my God, deep speed. We're talking LSU here. These are just deep speed. That's all I'm going to say. So go check that out. And the acting is good. And Ali Larder should totally be nominated for an Emmy or a SAG award or something. She's that good in this. She gets in episode 3, and she just takes over the game, if you ask me. Really funny character, Texas work there. Excellent job. So a shout out to Ali Larder getting involved here on the Jimmy Palumbo Show. I watched that Manson documentary on Netflix. You know what? I thought it was awful. I thought it was awful in 2 ways. It's just like a conspiracy theorist show. Oh, the CIA was making Manson do mind control and these people brutally murdered. What's her name? Tate, who was so pretty, and she was pregnant, and Sharon Tate ripping her baby out of her stomach. What is this? This is a terrible thing. And now they're trying to act like it's the government's fault. No. A bunch of jerks, evil people did evil things to nice people. That's what happened. And then there was another murder across town at the same time, which is how they nailed everybody. The guy owned a supermarket, a little supermarket there. And they killed him and his wife, and everything was stabbing. Oh my God. And Manson showing just a bad guy, bad people. They all stayed in jail for a long time. I don't think any of them are out of jail now. Most of them are dead probably. But I thought the documentary stunk. It's number 1 on Netflix. Everyone's going to agree with me on that. Just a complete waste of time. What else we got here? Of course, we've got cornholelevel.com here at Shea. Go to cornholelevel.com. Pick out all your fine. Where the hell is it here? Listen, I'm sure Dave's cornhole is bad today, but here it is right here. Rutgers thing. Slap it on. It totally tells you where to go, the angle, according to the official. I don't know. What would the Cornhole Association be like? It's the CHPAB, official cornhole, easiest game in America foundation, whatever they call it. But check it out, cornholelevel.com. Put in JP Show, get a discount, 20% off your entire order. Go talk to my boy Michael Caprio, getting involved here. Quick 3. I'm another annoying thing as an actor when you do taxes, right? Like most people, they get a paycheck every week or every other week, and they don't have as many write-offs. But actors, because you're always looking for work, the write-offs are I can't even tell you. And I did a bad job of I should do it quarterly and start to gather my receipts and enter it into this wonderful website called Performer Track, which is made by Brian at One Bite Creative. You would have thought, well, shouldn't I have entered them every month, stay ahead of the game? No. Now I'm scrambling, looking for things that, to lower my my adjusted gross income, AGI day here, Jay. And it's such a pain in the neck. I realized, oh, wait, I could write off that. I could write off this. Because due to the new tax laws that are good for the American public that Trump put in, I don't get federal taxes taken out of the first a bunch of checks that I get, and that screws me over because a lot of money I earn with zero federal tax. At the end of the day, you got to pay the piper. I'm the kind of guy that likes to take it all out, and then with my write-offs and stuff, then I get money back in April, and I use that to rob Peter to pay Paul or pay off the sins of the past here from the Army. So I just stink at it this year. I'm usually pretty good at it. Like I said, I'm down to Lisa Obernick from Colonial High School, who's been my accountant for 20 years. And she takes care of me. She does a great job. But all I got to do is get it down to Florida. I can't get I got receipts up my ass, receipts all over the place. I know what? This year, Jimmy Palumbo sucks at doing his taxes. And I'm pissed off because I think I'm going to get some money back, which is much needed here from the Army. That being said, here, again, don't forget onebitecreative.com. Go talk to Brian. If your website sucks, go to One Bite Creative. This guy's that good. A friend of mine from Kappa Sig is working with him now. They're excited. They're going to have a killer website for like high school athletes and stuff like that, which is really cool. So go, Brian, at One Bite Creative. Also, on a little bit of a sad note here, my friend Mark DiCarlo, who's a friend of the show, friend of mine, he lost his dad last week. I got a call. His dad was, I think, around 83 or something like that. He was a nice guy. I met him a couple times. But the DiCarlo family, all the boys are getting together, and they're handling it well. Still sad. He was a good guy. So a little shout out to Mark DiCarlo's father. And I'm going to try to go. One of Mark's brother's son plays for Washington. They're going to be playing Rutgers at the end of the month down in Piscataway. I'm going to try to scoot down there and watch it. I haven't seen a baseball game in a long time down there. And Big Ten baseball is pretty good. So I think Rutgers is decent this year. So I'll go down there and, do my thing, watch the game, a little baseball, some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. And good evening, everybody. It's a good one. We are also in Darryl Clark says, just this year you suck. It's so funny. I get texts from Darryl Clark on whether the show is good. And sometimes he'd be like, nah, I wasn't buying into your show. It sucked today, which I love. But I got to give him credit. He does come through when he thinks shows are good. He tells me that too. So, you got to take the good and the bad. But, of course, I tell him he sucks all the time. And him and his LSU BS. We're in extensive prep for the Beer League. I can't even speak now. Beer League series. Of course, I told you we got some funding from a new streaming service, and we're going to be doing 4 8-minute episodes that are going to air on this new streaming service that is launching. They did a soft launch. I don't want to give the name just yet till we're ready to go. I'm going to get everybody to sign up for it. And we're going to do some cool episodes. Hey, guys writing a check. We think we're going to reshoot some stuff. We got a better crew in there now. We got a few more bucks. We're going to shoot it right. It's going to be with Deej and Manganelli, and also yours truly. And then Dave Destruction Sturcho will be involved as well. And hopefully some special guest casting if we can afford to get everybody. We can't replace Dave. Who's saying that? Probably Dave himself. But no, we're going to be doing some stuff there. So we're excited about it. We plan on shooting between mid-May and June 15th, somewhere in there. And we're going to be shooting in New Jersey. I'm going to try to do a better job at extras and get some friends of mine to go out, because last time we had extras, everybody stunk. We had a bunch of like Howard Stern fans who didn't know anything about baseball. I don't understand. Even the movie Beer League, the extras didn't know how to play ball. It's crazy to me. So I'm going to have a bunch of cagey veterans maybe take a day off and come down there and swing the bat. But I'll maybe make it maybe some of my Patreon members, maybe Darryl Clark or Tyson Hogan. You know what I'm going to do to Tyson Hogan and Darryl Clark? I'm going to announce that they can't be on it, but only their kids could be in it. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to ban, like Moses can't go to the promised land. I'm going to ban Darryl Clark and Tyson Hogan, who are big-time Patreon guys for me, and I'm going to make only their kids play in the show. That's how I'm going to do that. But yes, we will be announcing when that goes. But I'm looking forward to it. We got a new casting director. We're going to bring in some new people. And we're going to try to make this thing tight and try to make it go. And, from there, I don't know where this thing's going to go. Artie's not involved with it yet. But he's, as soon as Artie's ready to go, we'll pop him in. I don't even have no hesitation. When an aging LeBron checks into the game, that would be Artie Lang. We'll pop him right in immediately. Are you kidding me? With a huge announcement. But for right now, he's not really performing now. So we hope and pray for him that he gets back into the business of show and get all that stuff, and I'll even get it back on the show. I think next week I'm going to have, depending on how Rutgers does, I might have Ed Zucker back on. He was supposed to come on, but I didn't set it up, and he couldn't do it. So he'll come on next week to bust chops. But listen, what I'm going to do now is, normally I go on really late, but I'll tell you about Pine Tar Bar and Grill, 121 South Main Street, the best sports bar in America in Forked River, New Jersey. Go talk to Tommy Plinio there, 609-489-4286. If you're down by LBI or AC, stop into this place. You'll love it. Totally worth it. And also, which I didn't really do here, is a full read of, what the heck did I do? Absolute Eyewear getting involved here. What did I do? Here it is right here. I can't find anything. Don't forget, Absolute Eyewear, 42 Main Street, Woodbridge, New Jersey, 732-326-EYES or 732-326-3937. Absolute Eyewear. Craig and Jaber Janine, they're there. This place is great. They know what they're doing. When you feel there, when you leave, you don't feel like a jerk off when you leave. They got all kinds of glasses in there. They're really good. They're friendly. Their word of mouth customers is phenomenal, and it's easy to get to. There's parking right in downtown Woodbridge. They got everything. Of course, Charles Oakley hangs out. He works on the glasses sometimes. Dave's laughing if he's hearing this later on. We get $100 off a complete pair if you mention me, Dave, Chop Sports, Jimmy Palumbo. If you say Rutgers stinks, they'll give you $100 off a complete pair of glasses. It means you got to buy two. And go check it out. Absolute Eyewear. Also, if you're not feeling right and you're getting a little depressed or something, blah, 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 make sure you call up Lisa Ruane, 201-725-1251. She's a therapist, and give her a call, and she'll help you out. And if she can't help you out, she'll tell you where you go to get help. Don't let things slide, man. We can't have that at all. And some of my family and friends that are going through some tough times, make sure you reach out to your friends and make sure you check in with people. And that's what I want to see you do. I don't want to see anybody sliding away. Well, that's it. We are going to actually, we're going to end the show here. What can I tell you? That's it. The Jimmy Palumbo Show, signing off, show number 287. Thanks all my fans, all my Patreons. I love you. And let's go get them.